Hey everyone. This is an episode with the low-hanging fruit, Yawn, and Andy. Recorded this last week, but obviously staggered it because of the episode with Sophia. What the hell did we talk about? I actually don't remember what we talked about. Hang on, let me just check my notes. How did we talk about? OCD quirks, getting robbed, The Little Mermaid, Wogopoly, Trans Muppets. I think Andrew Tate was in there as well. As standard, the computer killed itself in the first 10 minutes. And John was talking about Steve Martin Munn Short's show, that murder one. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, just remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, and all the usual sentiments and rubbish. Enjoy.
There are improvement works ahead, so this train will terminate at the next station.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
Tate takes me out. How about that?
Are you Muslim?
He should have been
The fatty liver.
Oh, you did a
blood
ultrasound?
test. Yeah, I did an ultrasound last week, but I already had the results from a blood test from a month ago.
Yeah.
My iron's through the roof as well.
Of course it is. Anyway,
Both of them are genetic.
What's the
Both
show?
from my mum.
Hang on, what was this show called again?
It's all these cured meats, man. I'm telling you.
It is. Only murders in the building.
Okay.
So all three of them are obsessed.
Where are you watching this?
Disney.
Oh, okay, cool.
All three of them are obsessed with true crime podcasts.
Is it set in today?
Yeah. It's set in modern day. And pretty much before that, they have nothing to do with each other. As soon as they realise that, they're forced out of the building because of something.
Are they family or something? Or?
No, they're just three different people.
So it'd be like us living together, sort of.
Yeah, in the same building, but we don't know each other. And then we get
When you say the same building, is it like an apartment complex?
It's an apartment complex, but it's the size of like 4 blocks. It's a massive old building.
And there's only 3 of them in there?
No, there's all other people living in there as well.
4 blocks.
It's a massive building. Yeah.
Actually, wait, to be fair, in New York, blocks take like less than 20 seconds to walk between, like they're short as.
So it's like a fuck-off hotel. It's a big hotel.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Guests of the celebrity Ding Dang Dong stay at the world-renowned Plaza Hotel.
So Martin Short is an ex. Oh, he's not an ex. He's like a famous Broadway producer, but his last production was so bad that he's basically like had no work for the last 6-7 years.
The truth.
Martin Short's that. Steve Martin's like a washed-up actor, and Selena Gomez is just like the young person. She's an artist in the building.
How are you writing off Steve Martin and Martin Short?
I'm just saying they haven't
had work progressively, steadily
in the last 7 years?
Yeah.
Steve Martin has, yeah. Martin Short has. Yeah.
They haven't made movies, but they've done like their Broadway show, which I saw.
Oh,
like
yeah, true. They did the
3
show. I
years
forgot
ago.
about the show. Yeah, fair enough.
Someone dies in the building,
Uh-huh.
and then because they're 3 of them are obsessed with that true murder, they decide to try and solve the murder themselves.
Okay.
But they decide to do their own podcast, but instead of solving the crime and then doing a podcast, they're doing a podcast simultaneously while researching the murder.
Okay.
So, like, they're just making it up as they go. Pretty funny. And then basically they solve, and then the second season someone else dies, and then they
Is it just one murder for the whole season?
Yeah.
Okay.
But each episode is told from a different perspective of a character in the show.
Is it always them 3?
They're always in it.
No, but is the perspective always from them 3?
The first 3 episodes, yes. Then it jumps around, and then like the person who actually dies is from their perspective, and then the actual murderer's perspective.
Wait, so does the point of view, the camera work of point of view changes following that character?
It's like not so much.
Or
It's
does
more
it still
like
follow Steve Martin.
so.
Martin
Each
Short?
episode is like at the start of the episode, it's narrated by a person. So the person who the episode is like centered around.
Who's narrating?
The person who's in charge for that episode.
Oh, so it's per character narrating.
Per character,
himself.
yeah. And then usually the last 10, 15 minutes is about that character because they got something that's linked to the murder. And it's a really good show. I haven't laughed at a comedy for a long, long time. And,
Question. No,
yes.
statement. You're eating a donut, clearly. What's on your shirt there? Is that a donut?
No,
That's an octopus.
It's a giant octopus.
Oh, it's a giant. So it's tentacles.
So when I went to the Red
attached
Hill
a donut.
Market, because I haven't been... Sorry?
Hang on, wait. So what?
The tentacles attached to a donut.
No, it's a sea
Oh, it's a helmet.
It's a deep sea diving helmet.
Oh,
I like to support the local artists up in Red Hill.
I feel like you're summoning Cthulhu or something.
Maybe.
I always picture you standing around at like some art exhibit at a market, but you, like pretending to be ensconced in it or trying to analyze it. But
Yeah, I'm pretending, but I'm...
having
yeah.
like a plate full of what's it called? Those
Picking a blanket.
the Dutch pancakes. Yeah,
Profiterole rolls, yeah.
yeah, just scoffing them down, pouring coffee, getting it on your white polo shirt.
But I'm not really looking at it. I'm actually picturing Football Manager tactics.
Yeah.
Then you start weeping. What's wrong?
Well, how you gonna?
I just can't make these 3-3-4 work.
How you going to rearrange the figurines above your desk? Like, Superman would look better on the left.
but that conflicts.
Too much blue on this side of the room.
The wall's cobalt blue.
I can't have two DC characters next to each other.
Would you get funny like that? If you were rearranging, like, say, figurines, would you think in your head you can't have, like, say, two DC characters?
I don't have the luxury of space to think like that.
Neither do I. But I'm just saying.
Well, when I rearrange them...
No, because you're pretty OCD.
Yeah, I would. No, I would. I'm
That's what I'm saying.
not going to hide it. If I was looking
does that bother you? Like that setup?
it does actually.
It's not symmetrical.
Well, no, because you've got Macho Man, and then you've got Hollywood Hogan, but then you've got Scott Hall as Razor Ramon, not Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be like the NWO Scott Hall?
That's what I mean. That's what's pissing me off.
Yeah, but I purposely picked the Razor Ramon because that's who I grew up with, not Scott Hall.
No, that's fair. It's fair to you. It's unfair to me. But I just have to live with it.
It's unfair to me. Okay, question. If you go to someone's house, would you straighten their picture frames?
I've done it. I've actually done it.
I love it.
I've actually done it. And if it doesn't straighten, you know how I just take it off the wall. I've actually done it. It pissed me off.
Piss off. You haven't
I swear to you, I've done it with two of my relatives.
I don't buy that.
100%.
I don't believe that you took a picture frame off
Why,
the wall.
I don't have a reason to lie about something like that.
So there's a family, an old family friend. Basically, this guy...
What did I just open up?
Oh, he was known for taking shortcuts when it came to doing things around the house.
Okay.
And one day, we were at their house for dinner, like as a family. This was years ago. Everyone was still small.
Before the fatty liver.
Before the fatty liver. And same thing, picture was like crooked.
Yeah.
So they go to fix it. As they fix it, they realise the paint was like a completely different colour.
Underneath the frame.
Yeah, so because
so
it was
he
on an
never-
angle, when you only shredded like that, like you had like a little angle bit that was white. It painted around the frames.
He didn't take the frames off to paint
That's
the wall.
amazing.
It was like a blue wall and there's white paint underneath.
I can't get past him taking a frame off a wall at his relatives.
Yeah, yeah.
They probably still don't know to this day.
How did that go down?
No, I never told them. I don't know what happened after.
Where was the painting or portrait?
It was in the hallway when I was coming in. So when we, hi, and they walk in, we walk in behind them, close the door, and there's a bit of a gap between, you and the Relos.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And as I'm looking around, I was like, I'll take my shoes off because that's what I always do.
Why are you looking at me?
I actually heard that in the last episode. I couldn't stop laughing.
I do not object to taking my shoes off.
And the frame wouldn't fix, so I just took it off and put it on the ground.
The frame wouldn't fix.
I gave him a hint. I never told them or anything.
He left them like 5 riddles. And he left. Like, they never solved the riddle. That's why they never found out.
Yeah, Dane Cook had a stand-up about that. He was talking about how when he was back in his day, he wanted to do a B&E, like a breaking and entering. It's called Dane Cook's Circle, I think. It's the first. It was like a record-breaking stand-up where he's standing in the middle of like an amphitheater and it's full 360. So he's like,
oh yeah, I heard
you know
about
what I mean?
that one. Yeah,
it's actually a really good stand-up. I first watched it like back in 2011.
early Dane Cook. Or?
Yeah, 2011, 2012 was when I first watched it. And I'm pretty sure it was a couple of years old by that point. But he talks about doing a breaking and entering with his mate. And all he does is he finally gets himself like worked up gets the nerve to do it, gets to the front door, kicks the door in, gets in, and he's all pumped up from kicking the door, and he kicks like another random door in, which is like a cupboard.
Yeah.
And then he realizes he doesn't want to do a breaking and entering. He just wants to kick a door in. So he gets out of there. And then over the years, he keeps analysing whether this family comes home, sees the door kicked in. Then they go in, it's like, well, nothing's been stolen.
Yeah.
But why is the other door kicked in as well?
Yeah.
And it just fucks with them, like, psychologically for the rest of their lives. Like, why? He's not even a locking mechanism. Why kick a door in?
Yeah. That's true, right? The psychological torment of, I got robbed. At least you know what's happened. Things are going to be missing, right?
Yeah.
And you understand that. You're like, oh, fuck, they took a couple of things, whatever. You kick a door in, everything's in place, your portraits are all straight, your fruit's still there, there's like $100 cash on in front of the table, no one's touched it, but there's a door and a bedroom door kicked in. That's it. That is weird.
I was going to say, have you ever been robbed?
Like, personally? Or someone around me?
I did say, have you ever been robbed? So
No.
never.
Oh, no. I've had my car stolen.
Car stolen.
They stole my Skyline. Yeah.
Do you have a Skyline?
I had a Skyline.
The R33.
No, the 34.
Was that a 34?
It was a 34.
Do people still steal cars nowadays? I don't know. Is it a thing still?
Yeah, definitely.
Do people still steal cars?
It's become much more high tech now.
Well, that's what I mean, because, like, other than, like, remember, like, 5-6 years ago, like, Apex was always kicking people's doors down and taking the keys.
Yeah, that wasn't the only break. Man,
But I mean, that was making the
my
news.
mum's
They don't do
car
that
got
anymore.
stolen once. My mum called me up once. Like, where are you? She goes, she went into the city to watch some show. You know what I mean? And she parked near the Carlton Gardens along with Flinders Street and, what's the Spring Street? Near there. And the car was gone. And I said, are you sure you didn't just park like in a loading zone or something and it got towed? She goes, no, like, it was here. It is no longer here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I went and picked her up. And then like 2 weeks, okay, well, we've got to go to the cops, like file a report. Yeah, sweet. Then 2 weeks later, I was having breakfast on Chapel Street and she gives me a call. And she's like, hey, the cops found my car. I'm like, what? She says, yeah, they found my car. Thrash? She goes, no. She goes, apparently like, it just looks dirty and stuff like, it had been lived in, but no one actually took anything. I'm like, okay. And she goes, yeah, it's at such and such police station. I think Richmond was the closest one. So I took her there. And then the cops were, and they were like, first they said, come and get it. I said, when did they recover it? Oh, today. I'm like, don't they have to like do a sweep, like search something? Well, you got your car back. Like, that's it.
No, Dim, you've been watching too many Blue Healers.
And then, I told her to call the cops back and bring it up. And then she did. She's like, yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
They said, come back later on the day. So
Yeah.
I went. And she said, they said they found it. It was parked in the same spot. Like where
Really?
And I says, what the hell happened? They said, it must have just been junkies or something doing either a run, like a drug run, or doing a stick up or something. So they just picked it was the day we Lanos, so it would have been piss easy to break into. I was just going to say, have you ever been broken into?
A house? No.
All right. Have you ever had a car stolen or anything?
Not me, Mick has. Dean's had his radio stolen. Mick had his car stolen.
So how did you feel? Like, was your car parked outside the front of your house?
Yeah.
How did you feel going out there seeing it wasn't there?
I assumed it was going to happen because the night before it happened, I was coming home late from the movies with my missus, and I had two cars at the time. I had an Audi and had the Skyline.
The one time he left his house in years.
Yeah, I mean, early relationship, so it was like still a
He's
bit.
playing the big man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got
Let's
home.
go to the movies. Which car shall we take? I'll give my driver the night off. Let's take the Audi.
Reginald, I got it from here.
He pretends to make a phone call. Jeeves, have the night off.
Well, to give you an idea, like
You're so gracious.
I was.
Come off that. I can't. I actually can't.
I shall still water the water lily for you, and then I'll have the night off.
Be sure to have my lavender tuxedo out starched.
I still have your pants pressed for tomorrow.
Breakfast at 9 a.m., sir. Make it 8. I've got a busy day. Or maybe I'll be going out for breakfast. Wink, wink. Meanwhile, this woman's looking at him like, who the fuck are you? 2 cars. Anyway, continue. Sorry. I'm just picturing him at the same time. Tracky's hole in the arse.
Oh, yeah. It was a tracky night. For sure. Because the Audi was really low to the ground. So you can't wear... I think I ripped several of my pants in
trying to climb
in, yeah. So it was always a tricky thing. But we got home like at 12:45 or something like that. And as I was like speeding down the street, I come to a stop, and there was like 5 guys outside of a car directly opposite my skyline, across from the house. And they were all just gathered around there, and I was like, that's weird. I've never seen these guys before. So I got out of the car. They all looked at me, and they're like, nice car. And I'm like, yeah, cheers. What are you doing? And they're like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, yeah, cool. That's my car too, yeah? And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so I let my missus out. We went into the house. I went upstairs, told my brothers, I'm like, there's people outside. They're about to steal my Skyline. Or they're going to steal the Audi, one of the two. So we went downstairs to the garage, grabbed any weapon we could find, walked outside, and they saw us, and they just jumped in the car, drove off. I followed them for a while, called the cops. I was like, look, these guys were suspicious. Do you want to do a check on the car or whatever? They said, yeah, the car's stolen. And I was like, oh, here we go. And then the next night, I had another late night at work. And so I came home somewhere around 1 a.m., got home, glass on the road, Skyline was gone. And then probably similar to what you would have gone through, I asked them, how long until I get the car back? They found it eventually. It wasn't like badly thrashed, some scratches and one little dent or something. They didn't take anything. They didn't rip anything out. I don't know why they did it. And then the mechanic had it for ages, maybe like 2 weeks. And I said, like, why is it taking so long? And he's like, oh, we got to look in all the seats. We need to look for any syringes or knives.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what the cop said. Syringes. We've got to check the back seats and everything.
Apparently they do it. They like put the syringes in the seats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you remember that thing with the movies where people were leaving syringes in seats? Yeah, that was like ages ago.
And you sit on it and it pricks you out.
Yeah. You don't remember that?
No.
You don't leave your house. Or to go to the movies anyway.
I don't watch movies.
No, you don't. You've gone with me when I've dragged you for like random crap. Are you serious? You've specifically said I don't pay to go watch movies at the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
I refuse to support.
See how we got all defensive? I watch movies. You've said this exact line
recently.
On Disney
Well,
Plus.
I did acquire a 4K version of Elvis. If you want it,
How?
I have my ways.
I didn't buy it.
BitTorrent?
Stole it. Have you watched it yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'll probably watch it while I'm up.
We reviewed it the last podcast.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But I have semi-high hopes.
Look, I never really have expectations when it comes to musicals.
Oh, I'm more excited to go back to the old Elvis catalogue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I'm more like I'm looking forward to the Elvis music.
I remember your brother said it once.
That's it.
We were at your house, and it was a period like 10 years ago, probably 15.
When they re-released his songs.
No, I think maybe, but I remember we went through a period. You remember when it was when Sanity and stuff was still around, yeah? HMV. They would always have the cheap Elvis movies out the front on stands and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a period like me, Johnny Iwanu, like a bunch of us were just taking photos of random Elvis movies, like Roustabout and all that. And I remember I was at your house once, and someone sent me through a picture of an Elvis movie, and I started pissing myself laughing, and we had a giggle. And your brother's like, "What's up?" I said, "Oh, nothing." I showed him a picture of a thing, and your brother said, "Who the hell buys Elvis movies? You just watch them at 2:00 on a Saturday afternoon."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that used to be a thing, yeah.
Yeah, every Saturday. There was Abbott Costello.
Abbott Costello.
What's it called? Dean and
Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis and Martin, and Elvis. Anyway, my point was, after did you end up getting your car back?
Yeah.
It was fine.
Well, the mechanics did a dodge on some pieces. Like, they broke the window. The window didn't work. They handed it to me back without a working window. And I was like, and they're like, oh, it wasn't working when we got it. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Because it was smashed in.
Because they smashed it, right?
He gets it back. There's like fluffy dice hanging from the mirror, a new car seat, Lebanese beads on the driver's seat. The fuck?
No, what I was going to say was, I'm just trying to think. Have I ever been robbed? No, I haven't been robbed, but I walked into, I got up one morning to go to work, and this is when I was still in Clayton, and I was still driving the R31. And I used to get up early, so like 6:30, 7 o'clock, whatever. I remember getting up early to go to work. I've gone out to the car, and the locking mechanism's been mangled. There's a dent, and there was a break somewhere else. Something else was damaged. And I remember like half asleep trying to put my key into the door. First I hit the bip bip, and it didn't unlock. So I've gone to pull the key out, and then it's jammed. And I'm like staring at it like, this isn't normal. And I kept trying to, I was trying to work the key in for about 10, 20 seconds before I actually realized, hang on, wait a second, this is mangled. Like, what the fuck? And then the side, like the window.
Door jam is?
Yeah, what's it called? The middle? You know, in between the two, the
door jams.
Is it the door jam?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sort of mangled. Like you could see scratches, like someone tried to pry it open.
Yeah.
There was scratches above where the lock, the window would typically be where the lock is. And I remember looking at it and like, okay, someone's trying to break in. The handle was actually busted as well on the driver's side. But they didn't get in. Called the cops. They came out, fingerprinted it, whatever. Was like an hour late for work or whatever. But I felt violated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Like someone's messing with my...
Like, you don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
This is going to be a very sensitive topic to talk about, but I actually assume that the same way, not to a much lesser degree, right?
I already know what he's going to say.
Yeah, to a much lesser degree, obviously. I wouldn't know, but I was going to say, this is why I'm so against and why my most hated criminal act or violent act is rape, because that's how I would feel if that happened to me.
It's a violation
It's
of
a violation of...
personal
Yeah,
property.
dude, it's like... You can't go back from that, right? You can't look at that thing. You can't feel the same way. That person would feel horrible, as I would feel horrible when I'm sitting in the car being like, maybe someone was in here. That doesn't make me feel good.
It's just an invasion of your personal space. Yeah. Well, what I was going to say was, I know someone that was living in a part of town. You wouldn't think it's typically like a shitty part of town. It's actually a good part of town. It's not far from you, right? And they got broken into. Their door locks were pretty standard, but they had like a window and a locking mechanism that was flimsy and a balcony that was, man, I could get in. You know what I mean? It wouldn't take much. And that's actually what pissed me off about my car being broken into. Attempted, because they just did damage to the door, but they didn't actually get in.
Yeah, just breaking a window
It's
and
an
open the door.
R31. Like, how hard is it to get into one, man? Screwdriver, and that's it. You're done. Anyway, they got broken into. And then call the cops, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't touch, and then like many years go by and I lost contact with this person. Then we reconnected like a couple of years ago and I brought up to their place again and they said that they got them broken into several more times. At what point do you fucking move?
Yeah.
Or change a lock?
Yeah, exactly.
Or do something. How many times would you stay in a place?
CCTV, alarm.
Guard dogs.
How many guard dogs?
Barbed
buy
wire.
a mastiff and just put him on the balcony. This is Brutus. You know what I mean? Just part of the furniture now. I think that's how it is. No, honestly, how long would you stay in a place before you got the fuck out? How many times would it take to be robbed?
No. One time and I'm out.
No, but you get robbed once.
It's not a murder in a building. It's like...
Again, maybe this is the OCD thing, but...
People just start dropping off like flies in the building.
That's the murder house of Clayton.
John's just walking around with his laundry. Doesn't even check.
Well, like, for example, right, like Noble has
Hi,
had...
Mrs. Beatrice. Dead next morning.
I saw her last night. You saw her last night? Oh, I mean, she was alive.
No, seriously.
But Noble has had a lot of attention in the last week.
Really?
Yeah, it's been like 2 murders in Noble. I've heard them while I'm awake doing meetings at like 2 o'clock in the morning, sirens blaring down the Peen Highway.
What are you doing in Noble Park?
No, but the cops go past from Moorabbin Station. They go straight down because they're the only 24-hour station around.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
So they blare down sirens, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's like 5 sirens going off down the Peen Highway at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, I heard gunshots when I used to live in Noble Park.
Yeah, but it's...
I was on the phone once at like 1 a.m. Like I'd gone out, come home, and I'm just lying in bed, and I've taken a late phone call from heads that we were out with, like that night, just wrapping up the night. And while I'm lying there, you see this like in the background, like of my background. I didn't even Jerry. And the person on the phone's like, "What the fuck was that?" I'm like,
"There's a chopper."
Yeah, I was like, "What?" Like, I don't know. The truck. That wasn't a truck. That sounded like gunshots.
That sounded like an exit wound.
Seems like they're noble sounds. It's just not.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Okay, there's a halfway house just next door. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm just saying. Like,
I'm just saying.
yeah. But you see, people are dying in Noble Park.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
I wouldn't stay long.
Okay, hang on. Let's say, okay, forget that. Let's not assume you're in an apartment. Let's say you're in your house.
Mm-hmm.
You have bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
You come home one night and you've been robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Would you move out?
I'd like to get out of the suburb.
Why?
Depends on the suburb.
Okay, let's say you're in an affluent suburb. Like, you're not in Noble. Let's say Bentley.
Oh, I'd probably stay.
First thing he would do is
But
pull
I'd
up
improve
Jeeves and
security.
say, that's the last time you get a night off.
Where were you? Sorry, senor.
But sir, you gave me the night.
No, I
I was attending to my late mother's grave.
That was all for show. You're meant to walk out and come back 10 minutes later.
You'd improve security, right? Like, you'd learn from the experience. You'd improve security if you had a nice place in a nice suburb.
He's going to introduce a moat. Moat
He's
Bailey's.
out there that night digging a trench and siphoning
Fills
water
it.
hoses to fill. What are you doing?
Listen, I've got plans for my fence. I'll just say that much. I don't care who tries to stop me.
Electrify it.
Good luck getting into my fence. And if the council comes, good luck getting into the fence as well. I've got plans for my fence. Don't you worry.
What do you mean?
I've got plans for the fence, so they can't.
Well,
no
like
one's getting
6
in.
car batteries lined up with like a...
I have had detailed thoughts about like ways of. If I was like a Bruce Wayne style, rich, bigwig.
Bruce Wayne is neat and a philanthropist.
Yes, but what I'm thinking is, you build
Yes, but-
a fake front door, and in front of that front door is a trap door with just a single spike down the bottom. And as soon as they try and break into the door, and you're sitting there watching them on the CCTV, just push the button, they drop down,
Like Mr. Burns.
close it off. No one knows. No one needs to know.
You know what Andy's trapdoor would
You
have?
know what you could even do? You know how you got those houses that before you get to the front door, it's like a little veranda almost that's sealed off, and it's like a door to the front door?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's usually like a steel. It's like a glass, not a steel door.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's like window. It's just like a little
Yeah, they're usually in
veranda.
Thornbury. They're usually in Northcote, Preston.
Something like that, but have it vacuum sealed, so when they go in, like basically door shuts, front door shuts, and then they're just stuck in there.
Did you watch the first Resident Evil?
No.
Isn't that like Magneto's chambers or something?
Something like that.
Did you watch the first Resident Evil
Yeah.
with the lasers?
I don't really remember.
and it dices them.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
That's what I'm having. That's going to be my front door.
And you think that's going to be ethically passed by the council? You can't put a veranda
I'm not
up in
telling
your
them.
backyard. Can't put up a second story in your
They can only approve permits if it arrives on their desk.
Well, think of it this way. What is the council going to do? They're going to come and knock on my door and tell me off?
Do you know what I'm picturing?
Brutus, dinner!
I'm picturing.
It's Team America style. We will write you a letter. Very strongly.
I'm picturing Andy's doorbell. Like someone goes and presses the doorbell and you see a dun dun dun. What? Fatality.
He's going to sell Girl Scout cookies.
Just the doorbell. It's that sound when you do the fatality. Dun, dun, dun.
No, I've had thoughts about, electrified barbed wire and stuff like that. We'll
Are
see.
you that scared?
I'm not scared. I just want to hurt them. I want them to learn
You're gonna hurt the
some
mailman.
No, there'll be something for him.
Look,
I just want them to feel.
Something for him.
I want them to feel the amount of pain that they would cause psychologically to people on a daily basis and never learn their lesson.
Couldn't you just hit him with like a lemon gun or something?
no.
Poof. Thank you for
I think-
coming. I'll see you in hell.
It stings.
It burns.
I poo on top of his shop just firing at people. Dude, that is one of the most outlandish scenes in a Simpson episode. I poo, it's throwback to the LA riots. with
Yeah,
the Koreans.
yeah.
He's got a scope on the gun. He's just firing like a 22. I'm sorry. Okay. Look, my thing is thieves rarely strike in the same place twice, right? Rarely.
Probably
Okay.
house-wise, no, but businesses, they go there as much as
Businesses,
they
yes,
can.
but not residential houses.
Yeah, they
It's
do
not like-
once and-
you're not going to be a target.
No, just move on.
Exactly. What are you going to get every time? Keep siphoning the same cookie
The
jar.
guy keeps. Well, if you keep buying the same TV all the time, maybe they just keep taking them off you.
They leave you a note. Next time, get the one with the Blu-ray.
I prefer OLED over, QLED. Thanks.
Have you got the universal remote, man? Because I'm starting to do that. Nah, look, man.
No, because the hotel on East Boundary used to get hit like every week.
East Boundary Centre Road.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they used to get hit like every week. Every week. It was crazy how
Wait,
often they
is that
get
the
hit.
one in Bentley?
The Boundary?
The Boundary.
Yeah,
East
the one on the
Boundary
corner
Road.
there,
Yeah, East
next to
Boundary
the
Centre Road, yeah.
opposite the Woolies. No.
Where IGA is opposite.
Yeah, IGA.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
They used to get hit a lot. Very often. And they had to constantly get security guards, and then that
But
didn't
that's
work.
a pretty shitty looking pub inside.
I mean, they did fix it up. It's nice now. There's like fairy lights out the front, and it's all clean inside now. And
No, hang on, wait. The bistro side was okay, but the actual RSL pokey drinking
yeah,
side.
they cleaned it up a bit. Maybe about 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's probably as long as it's been since I've been there.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It had that old ciggy smell, with the beers.
No, they tried to class it up. I'll give them that. And then they also stopped getting hit. I don't know what happened, but
Yeah, but like.
They set a trap at the door. One lonely one spike.
Brutality.
Some old man with a drawbridge note thing. Who's going to suspect Neville? He's just a sweet old man. No. What I'm saying is, I remember when I was a kid, there was I must have been 5 or 6, man, young, and I remember some dickheads moved in across the road from us, right, and they're just teenagers, moving into their first sort of home, house, you know what I mean? So having parties, fucking with everyone's bins on bin day, all that sort of shit. And I remember when they'd have parties and the music would be up too loud, our neighbour would go there and lose it. And he turned up with a shovel once, literally told him to turn the shit down. Then the old man's car got siphoned, fuel got siphoned out of it. Then the neighbour's one got siphoned. So between my old man and the neighbour, they took turns patrolling for a good week or two. My man had his 22 sitting by his side, in the living room. Dude, and he'd be outside on the fence with a 22 in a suburban street.
People have gotten too used to doing whatever they want with no consequences.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should shoot a guy, but I'm just saying.
No, I am. I am. Please do.
I can neither confirm or deny that train of thought.
Aim for the spine. Let them survive, but not well.
Yes, let them suffer.
Yep.
Let them suffer.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you kill a guy on your property,
We don't have that law here.
Yeah, we do.
We don't have King of the Castle here.
Bullshit.
Nope. If
At
you
all.
kill someone on your property, they will look at you as self-defense. Was it justified? And was the force equal to what they were presenting you? So if they were using a bat, were you using a bat or your fist, or were you using a gun or a knife?
See, that doesn't make any sense. Because it's why would I sit
gun's
here?
always going to trump.
Why would I sit here and assess a guy
Me with a missile launcher.
breaking into my house and say, sorry, mate, what are you holding there? Well, what's that, a steel bat? Okay, hang on a second. And then turn around to the arsenal and start picking weapons. Yeah, like I'm a gun trader.
I feel like an aluminium bat tonight.
Let's go with the pine.
Well, look at classic example, right? Classic example of how this has failed, how our judicial system has failed us, is the example of when a guy broke into an elderly lady's home. I think we may have spoken about this ages ago. I don't remember. Broke into her home. He broke through the glass, right? As he broke through the window, he fell onto a glass coffee table.
Yeah.
Shattered, cut himself up pretty bad. He was injured, broke his leg. He successfully sued her in court. He was trying to rob her. He successfully sued her for the bad positioning of a glass coffee table in front of a window.
Where was this? Here?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Either in Victoria or... No, I'm pretty sure it was
But
Victoria.
it was Australia anyway.
Yeah, it was Australia. Successfully sued her.
How would you... Okay, hang on. How would you react if you were in that situation? If you're lying in bed, going through the funny pages, and all of a sudden you see a... And you're like, what the fuck? So you get up, put your pajamas, your robe on, shuffle out to the living room, and there's a dude lying there mangled under a coffee table.
Well, I go to the Arsenal. I go, I think it's pine today.
Maybe the Alan Borders...
The Alan Border bat finally gets to come out.
Anniversary edition.
You remember that movie Johnny Depp basically kills his ex-wife?
Rear window?
Yes. And
Yes.
then basically they know he killed it, but they can't prove it.
Yeah, and
then
creeps everyone out.
Yeah, and essentially she's in the garden, isn't she?
Yeah, he's basically, it's got the same plot as Fight Club.
I can't remember. I only saw it the
Dude,
one
that
time.
movie I thought was good until it got to the twist, you know? And then it's like, in my brain, I was watching, I'm like, it can't be him. He can't be like the guy that he's imagining. Like, it can't be, it can't be like Fight Club. And then it literally, the next sentence is like, but I am him. And I'm like, oh, for fuck. That's what, yeah. And then it just lost all credibility for me. Like, this was such a good movie until the final twist, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I'm just saying. They go get my bat, and then, I don't know, might end up in the back garden.
See, I'd like to,
But he doesn't pose a threat anymore.
No, but
He still tried to break in my house.
I agree. And
How do I know what he was going to do?
I would one up that and say that no one's around to see what's going on. The guy's injured. For all people know, he's dead. It's a good opportunity to take some of these glass shards and just sort of just drop them on top. Are you okay, bud? Oh, no.
He vigorously tried to slash his own wrists while he was injured.
Oh, you got a glass shard in your throat. That's a shame, bud.
What's that, some glass in your
I'll call
eyes?
you an ambulance in about 7 minutes. Let him bleed out.
By the way, do you know what I watched a scene of the other day? That the Big Hit. Yeah, talking about it.
Mark Wahlberg.
When I was thinking, I cracked. I did like the last 2 weeks. I've been working like stupid, and it was on Sunday. I think I can't remember what night it was. Sunday or Monday night, like a week ago. I just snapped where I'm sitting at my desk, just wrapped some work, and then thought I need to start this next one, but my brain just couldn't kick over. I'm just staring at the screen. I'm like, I can't do this. I need to get up and do something else just for an hour or two. And I was thinking about what movie to watch, and I thought maybe I'll watch The Big Hit. And I'm like, yeah. I just got on YouTube and searched like a scene, you know, where he's explaining the busters. Where each buster and how it like tracks it, blah, 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 blah.
The buster.
Yeah, the buster on a buster.
And then he's got a buster.
Yeah, and then the next guy's got one more than he does. It's the best scene.
That's good.
But what I did was I found like another scene and just fast forwarded it just to see like if I could drum up any of the movie. And it went straight to that Japanese dude trying to kill himself. It's the fun, dude. It's such a dark premise, but you can't stop laughing. It's a Japanese guy who's gone broke, right? Like a film producer or something. I can't remember. He's some sort of bigwig.
Yeah.
He's Japanese. And he's doing the full ceremonial, like he's wearing the garb.
He's going to commit the
seppuku.
Yeah.
And he's trying to kill himself, and every time he goes to stab, the phone rings. And he's like, ugh.
So he stopped by the end.
Stops.
But by the end, because he's all like, he's got the ponytail and everything, by the end he's all disheveled.
It just looks like he's just getting more flustered. And then, his daughter's kidnapped or something, so it snaps him out of it, and he, tries to save her or whatever.
Well, talking about break-ins.
Well, hey,
sorry, go.
I'd like to hear what would in that situation, right?
I don't know. It depends.
You assume we can all assume adrenaline would skyrocket at that point.
And the thought is, are you going to keep your cool?
Yeah. Can you think straight?
I think it depends on who's actually there, right? If
I hurt myself. I'm coming.
But think about it, right? if it's some young punk, dude. If it's some young punk, like some junkie punk or some teenager who clearly doesn't know any different or better, it's like a dead rabbit, you
still got to put a dead rabbit, an injured rabbit out of its misery.
Yeah.
If it was some big douchebag looking dickhead, I'd be like, all right, man, let's have a conversation while I'm picking the Alan Porter
tonight
anniversary. It's Oak. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That'd be different.
Can you imagine him holding a gun to someone, just breaking into his house? Like, how old are you? When was the last time you took drugs?
Tell me about your life, man. When did you grow up?
You're a little bit too healthy.
No. But
show me your spine.
I don't know. I'd like to think I'd have more of an empathetic approach, but at the same time, motherfucker, you try.
Well, but you don't know too how violent they're going to be, right?
Yeah.
If they have the balls to break into your house with the assumption that someone could be home, there's a good chance they're there. They're going to attack you, right? They're not going to just assume that no one's home.
Well, you know how we were talking about the cars before when they were getting stolen. Remember how violent those break-ins used to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were fucked. They were coming into the house, knowing that the family was home.
Yeah, because they'd come in a whole mob.
And basically just hold everyone hostage and say, listen, we don't want to hurt you or anything, but we just want the car.
Yeah.
Give us the car, your wallet, blah, blah, blah. And if you fuck around, then you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But it was literally a point of just holding everyone
But
hostage.
there were some that
Yeah, they
did
tried
fight back
to- yeah.
and they got their asses handled.
Yeah.
But then I remember one of them actually got caught by the owner. And that's, I think, how it kind of
and
break it all down.
he fucked him up or something.
Yeah, and then
So the one I'm thinking of with you was local to us, I think, or possibly Sydney. And he broke into the... No, it was here. It was definitely in Melbourne. He broke in. It was a junkie just stumbling around, didn't know what he was doing. Broke into the house. The guy had 2 kids and a wife. That guy had a weapon, like a bat or something, with him. And so the dad went downstairs. The guy tried to fight him. So apparently the thief grabbed a knife off the kitchen table and tried to fight the dad. And the dad beat the shit out of him. I mean, like on an inch of his life, beat the shit out of him. And he unfortunately still got prosecuted.
yeah.
But he was defending himself, defending his kids and his family. Still got prosecuted.
In the heat of the moment, what's beyond reasonable, like as in measured, like a measured response? You can't have a measured response. If someone breaks into your house,
No way. You need to be stronger than that person.
dude. Imagine like sitting on your couch and you just look up and there's a dude like in your house. What are you going to ask him? Start asking questions like, "Hey, mate, what are you doing? Have you been? Are you lost? You know?
Yeah.
How can I help you? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't. Back to my original thing. I wouldn't be the type to get robbed and then be like, "All right, pack it up, we're moving." I wouldn't
Yeah,
be doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
You know, because most robberies, man, especially like in the burbs, they're random.
They're random. Yeah, I agree.
They're random acts. You know what I mean? Then it's
Yeah.
not like we were following him around for a week. He's got money. Like, fuck off. Like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
robbed him, if you're robbing me, clearly you know I've got nothing. You know what I mean?
If my neighbour was a
First,
bikie,
they've got to get up the elevator.
Good luck.
if my neighbour was a bikie,
Standing in there. And then he's got like a balaclava on. Someone gets in the lift as well with a paper. The other one's going to the gym. No one notices the guy with the balaclava.
And then
Have a nice run.
how sick would that be
cold
for
out.
a scene for a movie? Like you hear like the suspenseful music. They get in the elevator and it's that music. And everyone's on and off and all that. As soon as he gets to the floor,
Hang on. Question. Whose movie would that be in? Name a director, name a writer, and name it like the leading actor. If you could picture that in a movie, who would it be?
I feel like I've seen something like that.
I'm picturing like Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah.
the English dudes.
Yeah. That's
Yeah?
true.
Yeah.
That's probably my first go-to.
but Jim Carrey as the thief.
Oh, that's like Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It's a good
I
movie.
haven't seen it for ages.
I've only seen it that one time.
Oh, okay.
It's a good.
It was all right.
I reckon it was probably as good as you're going to get from Jim Carrey at that time.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
that with T. Was it T. Leone?
Yeah.
Tate Tequila.
Yes.
No, Tila Tequila. Do you know, dude? Me and this guy had photos of Tila Tequila when she was teen and when back in like 2000,
yeah.
year 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original model photos of her before she went porn, like
Yeah,
as
yeah.
in just straight model.
She did porn?
Yeah.
Piss off! Are you serious,
I didn't know that.
dude? She became like a lesbian in order to sell a reality show.
Slightly
Yeah, she's like a Trump supporter, racist,
off.
self-hating.
Something's not quite right there.
Yeah, she changed her name to Tila Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every Viet knows who Tila Tequila is. Are you serious?
No.
Yeah, name's Tina Nguyen. Well, Tina, anyway.
Yeah, a lot of the old game. Well, I mean, yeah, that. But a lot of the old games from the early 2000s had a lot of these, like a lot of the old like Need for Speed knockoffs and all that. They would have like a lot of the models in those games that would be in cutscenes.
Yeah.
Would grow not grow up, but would later on become more famous models later on.
Yeah.
Who
Who were nobodies. then.
Pave the way.
Yeah.
Was it Lindsay Lohan that tried to sue GTA for using a
Yeah.
likeness?
Yeah.
Did she end up losing or winning?
She lost.
We're going to talk about GTA.
Oh, okay.
She lost.
I haven't seen it.
The leaks.
I saw some pictures.
So it's an unfortunate
It's unfortunate, but
because it's not done,
it's not done. No,
and leaks are never good.
no, they're not. But it's like very
Because it's
early.
unfair on the company. The
It
company,
is.
they don't have time to do the marketing. They don't have time to put out a campaign. Things need to be
But
strategic.
they've actually come out and confirmed that that's actual footage.
Well-
they've actually said it, and they're devastated that it's been leaked.
How does it look? Do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, they actually did a whole thread on Reddit.
Hang on, wait a second. Are we going to have to watch like a 30-minute video? Cause
No, it's just links to everything that's been leaked on Reddit.
God.
Just go GTA 6.
Hang on.
Too much
Leak.
lulls.
Reddit.
Well, while he's searching, I'm so excited for God of War.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Oh man, I can't wait.
I don't really have any expectations for any games lately. Like, there's nothing that really.
I'd say that's the only one I'm looking forward to.
I mean, GTA is kind of like, after they sold, like, they've
San
changed
Andreas.
owners.
That was it.
Yeah, after they basically Dan Houser left, and now what I'm hearing, it's like, I don't know, like, they're starting to
When
go
was the
down.
last one you played?
GTA, the last one. 5.
Oh, okay. So you,
But I never finished
consistently?
it. Yeah, I've always played every single one. I finished every single one except for the last one.
See, I couldn't get like after San Andreas. Like I did everything up to San Andreas.
I love San Andreas.
Yeah.
With 5, I just couldn't get it, not attached, but the 3 protagonists annoyed me.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm used to, I only want one character. I don't want, there's
Yeah.
3 stories.
It's too diluted,
that is-
right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't build attachments to multiple characters.
4, I think, was one of the best ones too. 4 was really, really
4,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I never played 4 or
4 was very, very
3.
good. You can, when they always go what you should do is you should favorite all the GTA games on Steam, and then when they go on sale, they'll notify you. And I picked up like almost all of them dirt cheap.
Yeah. GTA is one of those games that it's too repetitive for me. There isn't enough difference between each game to keep me going back. It's sort of like me playing Far Cry. There needs to be something different in each one for me to play.
I think a big thing for me was growing up as a teen, the mayhem of just getting the cops to chase you and just destroying stuff and all that.
Double Clef.
Double click, like the mutant double click.
For me, I was with him when GTA 3 first dropped, on PS2. Yeah?
Yeah, it was PS2.
PS2. We wagged and went to Chatty, bought it, and then caught the bus back to his house and like played it for the first time, right?
Yeah.
I still remember he got up to go get like drink or whatever, and then I started a cop chase. I was in one of those cars that look like Lancers?
Yeah, I can't remember what they
Salot
call it.
or something? No.
Something like that, yeah. It was the mafia cars.
They
and
look like Lancers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember I've jumped in that and just started like some killing spree. I was just driving through the city and I was listening to Double Clef, the opera station.
Yeah.
He's come back and he's like, "You're fried." I go, "What? You don't know how psycho you look right now, driving this car, shooting an Uzi while he's in the background." You know what I mean?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
You do not have to do this. Screw you! Oh, fuck! Look.
It's just very early test footage.
Yeah.
Like, there's buildings, but it's just like the face of them. There's no, like...
Yeah,
They're
chunky.
They're just, like, flat textures.
60 minutes of gameplay.
I reckon there's nothing more damaging than just...
Oh, let's have a look at the 60 minutes. Not the whole 60. You just go into it and you can have it...
I love how I didn't even say anything. I just looked at him and he starts screaming.
He knew.
You know who you are? You're Albert from the Birdcage.
Who's that? I can't remember. Oh, it's gone.
Nathan
It's
Lane.
down.
No, it's down. Nathan Lane's character.
What
Oh,
a character.
That's who you
He's
are.
actually in... Nathan Lane is in Murders in the Building.
Really?
Yeah.
You are Nathan. Yeah, no, but you're specifically Albert.
Okay.
You're just hysterical. You know what I mean? Yes, my opinion doesn't matter because you're a man and I'm a woman. You're not a woman, you bastard.
Oh, man.
Where are you going? Las Copa. Las Copa. There's nothing in Las Copa other than a cemetery. That's why I'm packing light. So, you're going to Las Copa with your toothbrush. How Egyptian. What a movie.
That is a
man.
great movie, man.
Freaking awesome movie. I used to watch it like once every
Same.
every like 28 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just long
It
enough.
was in the rotation somewhere, but
it is.
a while away.
And you know what, man? Every time I see it like pop up, either like on a random YouTube ad or whatever, I always say to myself, I should watch that
do I have time right now to actually watch this movie? Because I'll watch 1 or 2 clips. I'm like, no.
Well, the Friday night movies used to always have either Birdcage or Coming to America. I swear.
Big Coming to America's always
they
on.
cycled
Always.
through them.
Running Man or Red Heat. Do you like Red Heat? I don't remember it. All I remember is like cocainum.
Yeah, everyone.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't remember any other scenes.
Yeah, true.
Is he convincing Russian?
No. No. But everyone remembers the line.
Is he a convincing Russian? No. Nevertheless, GTA 6, when is the actual release date slated
There's
for?
nothing yet.
There's no release date. It's really early.
Yeah.
But weren't they saying they were going to release like a Red Dead prologue?
No. Red Dead's done.
Are you sure?
They've confirmed they're not doing anything.
Not even a prologue?
Nothing.
It just shuts it down.
Nothing.
So then what are they doing in the meantime? Just doing GTA 6?
Yeah, they would have already been working on that. Well, they said Bully was going to be the next game out after Red Dead.
As in a Bully 2?
Yeah. So this GTA stuff is very, very, like...
Bully 2 got canned when it came out like 20 years ago. There's no way it would work in 2022.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Oh, come on, man. It's a kid, like, beating people up in a school.
The reason why it got canned was because it was called Bully. That's the only reason why. Everybody just made assumptions and they thought that's what it was.
That's what it was.
No, it wasn't.
Actually, you're not the bully. You beat up bullies.
Yeah, exactly. But they've already confirmed. They confirmed this like 2 years ago that it's going to be the next game.
Did you play Bully?
Very little, very, very... Like, I think I played a demo.
I saw it. I saw you playing it, but I never actually.
It was a good
played
game.
it.
I liked it.
Speaking of which, they changed the name to a Latin phrase. I don't remember what the Latin phrase was.
Canis Canem edit.
What does that mean?
Dog eat dog.
No. Wait, hang on a second. I was going to say the movie that I watched the other night.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The movie I watched the other night was Dog Eat Dog.
Yeah.
But it was different to what you just said.
Because that's Latin.
Oh, one was that's right. It was Latin. Yeah. How did you say it?
What?
The name Dog Eat Dog in Italian.
Oh.
Oh, the way he said it killed me. I died. I was out, man, and then when I was like, I snuck a listen to it.
Oh, because I have to put the manja. I have to canne manja canne.
It was the weirdest thing. It was some movie called Dog Eat Dog with Nick Cage and who's the guy from Platoon and American Psycho. He also played, I think, the Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, Nicolas Cage, and there was one other big name in that movie. I can't remember who it was. Movie you never thought would have come out. It came out like 8 years ago or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like a cheap Tarantino-esque type of movie.
Okay.
But the end happened and nothing happened.
You're going to love those types of movies.
Surprise!
Like, like Willem Dafoe plays a cool character. Nick Cage is surprisingly pretty cool. Like, no, not surprisingly. Nick Cage is cool, but he was actually not over the top like Nick Cage.
Just go watch Face Off again and you're set for a long time.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't put Face Off as Nick Cage's best movie.
No, but his acting is...
It's iconic enough to put it up somewhere. It has to be.
I don't know, man. I went through a whole...
Not Connie. There's good Nick Cage movies and then there's good Nick Cage movies.
There's only 2 tiers of Nick Cage. There's good and good. No.
I lost it.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of the lines.
Hang on. Honestly, when I moved into Noble, so like 10 years ago, I went through a Nick Cage streak. I was watching Nick Cage movies. Every time one would come out, I would download it. I went through his back catalogue. I watched so many Nick Cage movies. He's done some really good movies that didn't make cinema.
Yeah.
DVD.
Yeah.
He commits every freaking time.
Yeah.
Did you see that last one he did?
Which one?
Where he plays himself?
No, that's the only one. Yeah, I haven't had a chance
Is that
yet.
Pig?
No. He plays, it's like a self-aware movie where he plays Nick Cage as an over-the-top actor.
And a
Hollywood.
rich dude wants to hire him, pay him to come, like, hang with him for a weekend.
Yeah, does he have to end up killing someone or something?
I don't know. I have no idea about what the plot is. But
I can't remember. But yeah, exactly what he just said. He hires him basically like to appear at a party or something like that. 'cause he's a
something
fan.
goes wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of his last few have been like highly spoken of, but they weren't in cinemas.
No.
No, they're straight to Netflix sort of
Yeah.
stuff. There was another one that I watched where he plays it's like a revenge movie. And it's got a really cool twist, which I didn't see coming. And again, pretty good quality Nick Cage.
Yeah. Did you?
No, go.
No, go.
I was just going to say, what would you say his best movie was from, like, say, the 90s?
I haven't seen all his movies.
Just picturing him. Dude, like Snake Eyes was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good film. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Snake Eyes was good.
Then that 8mm movie about the snuff film.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be all over that
I
one.
was into that one.
Yeah. Who was the guy that was in that movie? He plays is a clerk at like a porn store. He's always wearing like shiny PVC. It was like an actor you didn't think would be playing that role. What was the name of the movie? That was 8mm, wasn't it?
Was that 8mm?
Yeah. I'm almost positive. And he helps him track down who it was that did the thing.
Did you used to watch Community?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Abed joins the Nick Cage class, and then like the professor thinks he knows everything about Nick Cage, but then Abed schools him on it.
Yeah.
And he's like he full on just destroys him, and then the dude's world's been shattered.
Dude,
that was a really random.
Yeah.
Guess who's in 8mm? Guess like Nick Cage
was that the movie?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Yes, a young Tom Cruise.
I'm picturing that Cocktail movie where it's just a punk.
With that laugh.
Yeah. No.
Oh, have you seen? Oh, no, go.
Dude, I've just typed 8mm, right? It's brought up the cast, as it always does in Google.
Yep.
Nick Cage is obviously the lead role. Guess who the next two names are? You'll die. I completely forgot these two guys were in this movie.
John Leguizamo.
He's always in those movies. But no.
Damn. I don't remember anyone famous in
You'll die.
8mm.
You'll actually die.
I think I saw it once. I can't remember it.
Okay, the guy that I'm talking about that helps him out wearing the PVC is Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's really young. And the third name there is James Gandolfini.
Really?
What?
It just says Eddie Poole is a bad guy.
I don't remember that at all.
Dude.
I don't remember that
I think
at
it
all.
needs a rewatch.
Yeah,
man.
I think I need a rewatch.
James Gandolfini was in True Romance. Did you ever watch that?
I did.
One of Brad Pitt's first movies. He plays a stoner.
Yep.
Oh, really?
You haven't seen it?
I think that was a good movie, wasn't it?
It was Quentin Tarantino wrote it, and then the money he got from that, he wrote Reservoir Dogs. He made Reservoir Dogs.
Right.
Oh, really?
Don't you remember that scene with Christopher Walken and what's his name?
Is that one you showed me once about with the?
But he says the
Sicilians
have actually got.
Is
more.
that movie?
It's that scene.
And what's that movie called? True
Romance. Have you never seen that scene?
I have seen it. Yeah, because you showed me. You used to show it to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Dustin Hopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's True Romance, and Gandolfini's in that, and they say that he got the role in which movie was it? Maybe I don't think it was Sopranos. I can't remember if it was Sopranos, but it was like not an urban legend, but just like a Hollywood story.
Yeah.
Someone saw him in True Romance because he's like pretty much a nobody, but he plays like a thug, and he beats the shit out of like a woman, like he punches her out like with the first hit, and they said, "Get me this guy like to be in the next whatever the hell it was."
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can play that aggressive type.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Actually, that's a movie I keep thinking about. I want to rewatch. Did you ever watch Gandolfini's last movie with Brad Pitt?
No.
That was a rom-com?
No.
I don't know why, because I thought he did do a rom-com, though. Gandolfini did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He definitely did. I just don't remember what it was called. I remember seeing it on Netflix or something, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. There was a movie he did right before he passed away, and he played like a degenerate gambler, drug addict, something, but Brad Pitt's in it. It's another one it's like a Guy Ritchie type movie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mm. Hang on. I've got this one.
Talking about Tom Cruise. Have you seen Top Gun?
No.
Apparently it's really good.
I keep hearing that.
It's been like top of the charts for like 16 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was out that long.
It's very popular around the world, right?
Yeah. Apparently,
I don't know.
Apparently, I've been watching scenes here and there because it's all over
It's very
YouTube.
woke.
No, apparently it's not.
As in, it's gone against woke.
Yeah.
But it's still woke. Like, as in...
there's a female pilot.
Bill Maher spoke about it, and he said something about how the enemy is not anyone. You never see the enemy. They're never named, like, it's not a country.
They're trying not to offend anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's all these elements that they've snuck in to try and make it PC. Where
I think they've insinuated it's Russians. Or like... Chechenians or something.
The movie's called Killing Him Softly.
Oh, I've heard of that
Oh,
one.
that does ring a bell.
Yeah,
Never seen it,
It
but
was
I've
like a
heard
neo-noir crime film is how it's described. Yeah, because Brad Pitt's on the front and he's got like he's got long hair, goatee, and he's holding a shotgun, like a pump action.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There was that movie. I saw that at the movies. I should rewatch that. I feel like that was 2012. I feel like 2010 to 2012, there were a lot of movies that came out with like these type of themes that sort of just slid under the radar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Overlooked. I think that's why I went back and watched that Nick Cage movie. I thought it'd actually be good. But,
Speaking of PC,
oh, God.
you seen The Woman King?
Oh, yes.
It's very highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, has it already come out?
Yeah.
Is that the one about the slaves?
Yes.
Yes, it is. The one we discussed a few weeks, well, whatever
little
it
while,
was,
a few-
while ago.
Did we discuss
Parties
it?
back.
About how, well, what the hell was it? It was basically a tribe that got wiped out by like 2 guns. They trained their whole lives. So it's a tribe of women.
Okay, John's just like lost his shit.
We discussed this.
Why is John? No, hang on. Why is John losing it?
Because it's ridiculous, right? It was a tribe of women. So
Wiped out by 2 guys.
it was a tribe.
Even if one misses the whole tribe, there's still another one. The whole tribe.
one loads while the other one reloads.
So it was like 300. It was a 300 woman tribe, right?
What?
No.
It's
It's not a 300. Apparently, this is the thing. This tribe, they're saying it's based on a true story. Now, this tribe, it wasn't. I don't think it was an all-female tribe. It was a tribe that had a female warrior caste.
Okay.
No, well, I checked
Can I just say-
Wikipedia.
can I
which,
just-
Okay.
let's be fair.
Yeah.
But it said an all-female tribe.
It's possible. Look, I don't know.
Interjection, please.
Yes, yes, sir. The one with the hand up.
The speaker may have the floor. From the honourable state of Mississippi.
Do you want that voice? The one just is sounds like
Please stand by for an incoming message.
what? Everyone just stands around like it's the voice of God. No, I was going to say. yeah, it's always before an emergency test.
Evacuation testing system now in progress. Emergency. Evacuate now.
He's saying something, but I don't know what it is. There's always those 2 logs. Like, what?
No, I was going to say, we do have the internet. Why don't we just look up exactly what this is? So
Okay.
Yeah, because it was a while ago we spoke
I was
about
going
it.
to
I
say,
remember it well.
what's the name of the movie again?
The Woman King.
Okay, how about you give me your random ass explanation? We'll see how close you actually get.
So, this tribe, they're making it look like that they're fighting Western colonization and that they're holding off the evil white man, European white man. So, with a quick Wikipedia look up, this tribe was actually one of the main distributors and suppliers of the Atlantic trade slave system.
Yeah.
So they were supplying these evil Europeans with actual slaves.
The emergence of an all-female military regiment was the result of the homies' male population facing high casualties in increasing frequent fights and warfare with neighbouring West African states. So, this led to Dahomey, which was the kingdom, being one of the leading tribes in the slave trade with the Oyo Empire, which used slaves for commodity exchange in West Africa until the British Empire brought an end to the slave trade in the region. There you go.
There you go. Interesting thing, talking about slaves. Did you hear? Actually, I don't know. It popped up on my recommended because of our friend Walsh, because he's talking about him. Maya did a speech last night on the whole slave thing. Did you see that? Bill Maher.
Did he?
Yeah, he did a whole speech on the whole slavery thing, about how like it's not just an exclusively American thing.
Oh, I saw that.
That was a night, like 2 days ago. Yesterday.
Yeah, it was his new rule on Saturday's show, on Friday's show.
Yeah.
What he said, he brought up this movie. He said before it's even come out, it's already getting critical
Acclaim. Yeah.
Like, and people are calling it like
Masterpiece.
badass women, blah blah blah. And that's when he brought up, yeah, but they're actually an all-woman regiment who supplied slaves because. And that's when he brought in the whole thing. Slavery existed well before Americans ever brought up the concept.
Yeah.
Because it existed in Roman times, Greek times, Egypt, like
Literally the planet.
It's funny, like
and he said it's because people are just shit. It's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with
exactly.
being white.
Yeah.
People are shit.
It's I think I've sent you some of this guy's videos. Thomas Sowell, Sowell. This black historian
Is this
professor.
like what's his name? What's it? Andrew Tate prick?
I don't know.
Oh.
Who's Andrew Tate?
Hey, whoa. We are not getting in that.
Hang on,
Okay.
wait a second. Hang on. You honestly don't know who Andrew Tate is?
No.
I thought you would have had signed up to his OnlyFans by now and
I
subscribed.
have no idea who it is.
Along with your Matt Walsh KKK videos.
I don't want to give the man airtime. Where'd you pull that from?
Well, he's either a Royal Herald or
You come in with your white hoodie and your white beanie.
You're wearing a white hoodie.
I don't have a white beanie.
I want to make it clear I'm the only one that's not wearing white here.
Klansman. Yeah, true.
We've got Grand Wizard Dim and Grand Wizard Andy here.
Yeah! Let's get into shooting.
You been to a rodeo, boy? He addresses this guy talks about it, which is very it's just a very interesting.
Okay. Andrew Tate.
Oh, we're
Relax.
talking about
No, we're not getting into him. Why do you not want to go into it?
I just don't want to give him airtime. It's just not worth my time talking about
I'm surprised you agree that he's a pig.
it. Of course he's a pig.
Really? You?
I mean,
Your face just killed.
listen, it's different. It's different when... It's different,
when he says it. When Andy says it.
It's different if you're paying someone who wants you to beat them and abuse them and spit on them, and it's all kinky shit. And it's different when a guy is saying, I can do whatever I want and beat and spit and just like
Okay.
rape a chick
Basically,
if I want to.
Andrew,
I've heard the name, but I don't know
Okay.
anything about it. I just heard
in
that
a
he's
nutshell,
an animal,
look, I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of his videos. I saw like one or two and I'm like, who is this idiot? And then I just switched off, right? Like he said, I don't want to give him airtime by adding to the algorithm, right?
He hasn't come up on any of my... Is he on
Well,
YouTube?
He's got banned off everything.
He's
not
been
on my-
banned
any of
from
my
every
recommendations.
platform.
Okay.
Yeah?
For what?
What he says.
for his views. Too radical.
It's not even. It's not. But it's not a point as in radical as in like, hey, this is an opinionated thing from another. Like, it's not even a point of like, this is well thought out. Maybe we should bring it into discussion. This is like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And one day you're going to get a brick dropped on the back of your head.
He's forcing his point onto other people who are dumb and follow his points and opinions and believe it.
He's an ex like Muay Thai fighter. I think
He's a UFC fighter.
ex UFC fighter who became like a social media marketer genius. You know what I mean? Just selling the algorithm bullshit. And he just started coming across as like an alpha male, ultra misogynist, women on my property, blah 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 blah. blah.
Really? Okay.
Just a pig of a human being.
Super
Like,
toxic, yeah.
I'm better than everyone. I'm smarter than you. I'm richer than you.
Mind you, you look at this guy and you think like...
It just looks like a.
Yeah.
It looks like a
You know, when you
dweeb.
see him talking, he's like... He barely moves his mouth. You know what I'm talking about? I can beat any woman I want. I can do anything I want. Like, what are you doing,
I
man?
tweeted, dude. I'll give you who he is in a nutshell. I tweeted this a couple of weeks ago. All right, when it first popped up, because someone I know, in Sydney, put up a story on Insta saying unfollowed, like whatever. Because at the start he came across as like these, like what do they call, like proactive, positive reinforcement sort of
Yeah.
people, right? Like typical influencer shit. But then
Trying to motivate.
yeah,
and
motivational
inspire.
speaking sort of shit. But then the underbelly of everything that he's done started coming out, and then it just started becoming more and more like toxic. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I tweeted this. Hang on a second. Here. I tweeted this. Andrew Tate is what Ben Shapiro sees himself as after a few naked push-ups and flexes in the mirror.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like he's got short, like bald head, couple tats. Like he's physically fit.
But he's so
sunnies.
stiff.
Yeah, stiff, rigid, no natural charisma. Just like, look at me.
No
I look
fluidity to
I
him.
look impressive, so therefore I must be impressive. Always has a cigar, like all that bullshit. Talking about how people are beneath him that are, like don't make money and you're
really?
Yeah, those type of people, man. So that's why, like, I didn't want to give him airtime, but at the same time, I'm surprised that you're actually on the bandwagon against him.
Oh, yeah. I got a brain, man. I know how. I use common sense.
It's debatable, man.
Bad people deserve bad things. Good people deserve good things. That's, you know,
So why do I end up with you two here?
I'm a great person.
We're the greatest thing to ever happen to you, Dean.
In fact, I have to rethink him in my life.
Which it's basically charity work on our side.
I think John and I should just branch off.
Only good things for us, huh?
Yeah, it's because of him I bought a house in Noble Park.
Oh, really?
You made me wag all the time in high school.
Hey, I just helped facilitate. I mean,
It's all character building, Tim.
One day you'll grow to be a broken man.
One day, if you work real hard, you'll be like me.
Readjust the groin. You know what I mean? Spit into like a bucket.
mind you, I never saw his place. I just helped him do the contracts and buy it. And we're just probably just standing at the office and the real estate agent. All right, well, good luck with that. Enjoy the place. He's like, huh?
Gotta go.
Do you want to come to Noble and see it? Nah.
See you later, Davey.
I'm going to Bentley.
It's actually a nice apartment. Screw you. It just laughs. It is. It's actually a nice apartment. Go fuck yourself.
No, I believe it. Good suburb.
All right, come back to me in like 5 years. If I'm alive.
I had to do a routine checkup. Never came back.
No, 100%. Anyway, sorry, you were saying, man.
I have no idea what we were talking about. Oh, what are they called? The Honey.
Dahomey, yeah.
Dahomey tribe.
Dahomey.
Oh, right, yeah.
Dahomey. No, so this Thomas Sowell guy, he's like this historian professor, and he gives insight into African American culture, yeah, and basically he's talking about the Atlantic slave trade, and he opens his statement. He goes, "When you think of slavery, what's the first image that comes to mind?"
African slave trade.
That's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of slavery.
If I think of slavery, yes, African slave trade.
And you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing.
But I don't mean necessarily going to America. I just mean African slave trade.
Yeah.
That's the only point of topic that's yelled at the top of everyone's
I'll be honest. The first thing I think of slavery, this is how ridiculous my brain is. I think of a Tintin book, a Tintin volume, where they're floating around in the Red Sea somewhere, and they come across like they're in a ship that they got kidnapped or whatever. They're in a ship. It's about to blow. They stop the fire, make off with the ship while their captors take off on the dinghy, and while they're like looking around the ship, they discover all these Africans stuck in the hull. So when they release them, the Africans were promised a trip to Mecca. Right, they're all Muslims, but then they discover like coded wording on the ship, and they're actually slaves. And he's trying to Captain Haddock's trying to convince these Africans, you idiots, if you stop at the next port, you're going to be sold as slaves. Like, are you serious? And they're like, no, we're good Africans. We want to go to Mecca. It's like, you're not getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of slaves. That's the first thing. Africans, but not necessarily in America.
Yeah.
Just in the seas.
Yeah, African, slaves. No, because that's what he opens his statement with, and he goes, "We've been taught, but we've been told to think, conditioned to assess, to think that the slave trade in America was a race-based thing."
Yeah.
And he goes, it had nothing to do with that. It was a human resources thing. And he goes, basically, it was the first time in history where empires had ships that were able and strong and fast enough to transport such vast amounts of people. That's why you ended up with so many African slaves in America. But those African slaves are also found in Europe and other places in Asia. They were found all over the world.
I was going to say,
because they could transport
African slaves also part in that landed in Brazil, along South America.
Yeah,
they were
everywhere.
Jamaica, all along that coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's what he's getting to. It had nothing to do with race. They didn't
initially.
The Atlantic. Yeah. Okay.
Initially.
Yeah,
but the racism that exists in the Deep South, that's another thing.
Yeah. The slave trade in itself, they weren't enslaving them because they were black.
No, they were just slaves.
They just happened to be easy to acquire, and they would transport them. And then once they became property of slave owners, that's when all that racism and all that started to kick in.
Are you advocating for slavery?
No,
he's just explaining it.
I'm just explaining it. That's all.
I don't know. I can feel the tension.
Slavery is always going to bring up a
Waiting
bit.
for him to
It's
sort of
always
go
going
over the edge.
Slavery is always going to pucker up the cheeks.
I look at it. I look at it more positively, right? Like, I mean,
here we go.
It's gone and past. I mean,
Well, that's right. I mean, yeah, it's
none of these people living today have experienced it. None of these people know what it was like, and yet they still yell and scream as if they're going through the hardest time of their life.
the one.
Do you know
the
what I
one
was going
thing.
to say?
Go.
Sorry, man. Do you know what Mayweather, the boxer.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather. You know what he said, man? I saw it in an interview today.
Recently,
I'm not sure when he said it, but I just saw it pop up
Yeah.
on one of my feeds. He doesn't want to be called an African American.
yep,
He goes, I'm an American.
I agree.
He goes, when I represented the country, when I was in the Olympics, I was an American.
Yep,
When I pay tax, I'm an American.
yeah. I actually questioned
Why is it
black Americans
there are no
on this.
European Americans,
Yeah,
but there's African Americans?
It doesn't make sense to me
He goes,
either.
I'm an American, and that's what I want to be known as.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which I agree.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we're wogs clearly, but we're still Australians.
Yeah.
You know the team I work with in the US,
Yeah.
right? So they're all predominantly black people. And I actually asked them, like, why the hell do I have to say African American? Oh, you're Americans, aren't you? You're not coming from Africa. Is there any ties to Africa? I don't understand.
But that's what he said. He said, I've been back to the motherland and I loved it,
Yeah.
but I'm still an American.
You were born here, right? Yeah. That confused the hell out of me.
It's like personal identity, yeah? Right? I've said it 100 times. This is the only country in the world where I'm considered a Greek. When I go to Greece, I'm an Australian.
Yeah.
My passport says Australian.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's going to be the same as like if you go to another country, to Greece or Italy, and they find out you're from, I don't know, you're Serb Greek.
What do you
Is
mean?
it Serb Greek? No. Macedonian Greek? No. What are they called?
What the hell's he? What are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about either.
No matter where you go, you're always going to get breakdowns in whichever country you're from.
Oh, yeah. Whatever they want to cling.
Yeah, you're going to get that in any country, except for the outsiders, because the outsiders, obviously, you're Australian. You go in Italy and it's like, oh, you're from the south. You go to Greece, I don't know, what's the side that is looked down on in Greece?
All of it. Greece.
Greece.
You're from Greece. Ugh.
Ugh.